Hello, Swadikap, Ricky here. Happy New Year for all of those who have yet to see me this year. There's been a lot going on. This year's going to be an exciting year. It's going to be a good year. This year, the twins, Lily and Daisy, will be enrolling into schooling. So they'll be enrolling into nursery kindergarten for my foreign viewers, which is exciting. Now, I already have probably the place they're going to, so I'm choosing where they go to in mind and selected. That's not to say I'm not going to shop around and look around for options for where the twins can go. And I just want to talk a bit about the education in Thailand. It's not just foreigners, but Thai people as well love to criticise and talk down to Thai education. Is the Thai education bad? Absolutely not. Are there better education options in other parts of the world? Probably. One example that people like to use of me is elite, wealthy Thai people don't use Thai schooling. They go to these international schools or go overseas. Well, where I come from in Australia, it's the same thing. The elite, wealthy people don't use the public schools, do they? They're using these lucrative, expensive, private schools that are very difficult to even get into, let alone pay to get into. So it's the exact same situation no matter where you are in the world. But is Thai education bad? You're kidding yourself if you think it's bad. I've been in Thailand now. This is my 4th year here in Thailand. And what I see from Thai people is a better sense of entrepreneurship, a better sense of being able to start and operate a business and think for themselves versus what I see in Australia, where majority of people will just sign up for a job. Now, is there anything wrong with either of those things? No chance. If the education was slightly better in Australia, is it worth uprooting our lives and moving to Australia in a whole different living circumstance just for potentially nitnoy, a tiny bit better of education? I don't think so. Because I think the values and the person you become where you're living here in Thailand is significantly better than the values that you will pick up and learn living in Australia. But that's just my take on it. I'm not right and I'm not wrong. You may have your own take on it. One interesting piece of information that I have recently came across though is the potential for the twins actually, and I'll have to look into it more, complete Australian education while here in Thailand. I've come across something called Air to School, which lets Australian citizens, which the twins are Australian citizens, complete an Australian education remotely. Now, I'm struggling to find more information on this. If anyone knows where I can read up more about this, please let me know in the comments below. And I'm unsure if it's a full-time thing or if it's an additional, after school hours curriculum that they can enroll to do. But the fact that I could put my twins into school in Thailand, which they will be doing. They'll be going to school in Thailand. And potentially also do this Air to School Australian schooling online remotely. Now that sits very highly with me as an option. Now I'd have to look at costs, of course. In regards to schooling in Thailand, the nursery, the preschool, the primary school or elementary schooling, I'll just put my girls in the local government schooling. I already know where. I've basically already chosen in my head, but if my life circumstances change, if my living arrangements change, of course that will change. But I think about the long-term picture and where I see myself living and putting my twins to school in that environment so they can grow up with a community, they can grow up with their friends, rather than them being moved around. So I've already got the long-term picture in my head. Now for high schooling, as I've said previously, I plan for my girls to do private schooling here in Jaipur, where I live. I've looked at the pricing. The pricing is not that bad. It's definitely something I can achieve. And by the time they're in high school, I'd like to think I've really got my stuff together and the sky's the limit. And the price is not a problem. But that's a whole different story, of course. But this Air to School, Australia schooling that I've come across, I think that's a bit of a game changer. If it was to pick one over one, I think I still pick Thai schooling because the twins are going to develop their Thai language, their Thai writing, and they can learn English with me. And there's a lot more to just talking with dad that I can do for them. There's also English tutoring. There's other options locally that I'd of course put my twins through to really develop their English skills, because let's say in 20 years time, if the girls wanted to do university, which I think university has a higher rate of attendance in Thailand than it does in Australia, but I could be wrong. But majority of the people I come across in Thailand have gone to, plan to go to, or are in university. But that could be my age difference versus your age difference, for instance. If you're an older foreigner or an older Thai person, maybe university was less common back then. Now, the options for my girls that I would push for them come tertiary. So if we're talking tech schools, if we're talking TAFE, university, colleges, it would be go to Australia, because they would then be at the age of adults where they can work and they could decide what country is best for them, being dual citizens. And I'd absolutely push and encourage that over Thai university, over Thai tech schools or colleges. Not that I'd be disappointed if they decided to stay here only, but I'd really push and encourage for them to, later in life, and we're talking so long down the line, this is all my current life situation, but I'd really push for them to get to Australia at some stage in their life to see what works best for them. And then you can decide where you want to be long term once you finish that education, can't you? But that's my take on it. That's my take on the education, where I see my twins doing their education at this point in my life, in my circumstances, and what we're working on, what we're building, what we're striving for in life is their education up until they're an adult being fully completed in Thailand. And I think that will make them the best person possible and give them the best opportunity in life. And I honestly believe that. And I know there'll be people in the comments who are going to call me a clown or an idiot, but I don't think people fully understand the dual citizen concept, that no matter what in life, they're always Australian citizens. They can always go to Australia. Nothing is stopping them go to Australia. And let's say the English component with me fails and it doesn't quite sit to the level that it should be at. You can still make it in Australia. Some of the most successful migrants are from the Vietnamese and Cambodian wars in Melbourne. Do you think they came to Melbourne with a high level of English? That's my take on it anyway. Probably going to change things up a bit with this channel, but there will be probably more in-depth content rather than just what the babies are up to. But this channel will stay baby topics and involve the babies, the twins. So anyway, exciting year this year. I think big things are going to happen. I'm working on lots in the background. I'm planning lots in the background. And most importantly, I'm striving to be the best father I can for my twin daughters and thinking about their future daily. So I hope everyone's well, and Swadee Kap. We'll see you in the next one.